Welcome back. A new survey on confidence levels among university and college students has revealed that more than half of those interviewed plan to move abroad. More than 1,500 students were interviewed in the latest PPS Student Confidence Index. It shows 54% of the respondents plan to move abroad for work purposes in the next 5 years following their graduation. Well, Mochabi Nomfete is the technical marketing specialist at PPS. She joins us this afternoon. Mochabi, thanks very much indeed for coming in. So it's Youth Month, so it certainly is important that we cast the shadow on the intentions of young people. The survey revealing that 54% intend to work abroad. That's a staggering figure, so it's important for us to understand how you worked out this sample and how you got to this figure.
Okay, the first thing is PPS as a company deals exclusively with graduate professionals.
Yeah.
And by graduate professionals, we refer specifically to your engineers, your doctors, accountants, people who've done at least 4 years of study and above. So if you look at that pool in itself, that's people with very rare skills or where we have a serious skill shortage in South Africa. So our sample was based on people in their 4th year of study or more. We did look at both universities and University of Technology, and we did look across all the universities in South Africa. And the sample size that we got to was about just under 1,600 respondents to the survey.
All right, so the main focus of the survey, let's talk about what are they saying about their main motivation of leaving the country upon graduation? What's the reason?
The main reason is they are seeking employment opportunities, and linked to that was that they did say that they actually are tracking what's happening in the country.
Yeah.
They're tracking what's happening both politically and economically as well. And they are well aware of the job market, what it has to offer and what it doesn't have to offer. And it is because of that that they are looking to seek for opportunities outside the country.
Well, it just becomes worrying when you consider what type of students. You just mentioned a few seconds ago, it's the sort of upmarket students in terms of their academics, skills that we need for this country's development agenda. Is there a sense that they would return and be useful after a time? Is there some promise in the survey?
Some of them did indicate that they would love to come back, but that we didn't track specifically, so I don't have a percentage for that. Though some of them that we had face-to-face interactions with did indicate that yes, they would want to go work for about 3-4 years and then come back into the country. But at the moment, we don't know how many would actually be willing to come back into the country. Having said that, however, there was research done by the Homecoming Revolution earlier this year, and their stats show that a lot of South Africans actually have been coming back into the country over the last 5 years specifically, more so in the last 5 years than previously. So there is an element of hope that the people who do leave do still have intentions of coming back home.
Has the survey managed to articulate, certainly on part of the students, what their real concerns are? It would be interesting to get the view of these promising graduates in terms of what the resolutions could be for employment.
The main thing, I think, one of the things that they did actually state was entrepreneurial opportunities. Yeah. They're seeking places where they can do, where it would be easier for them to do business. So that's something we need to look into, I think, rather urgently and very seriously. In that, like I said, if you look at our target market, or the people that we do survey, it is your doctors, your engineers. Yes, they might start off their careers in government employment because they have to do internship. But once they leave there, is the market conducive enough for them to become entrepreneurs? Because most doctors, like I said, they would probably open up some sort of a private practice, whether it be by themselves, joining a bigger group or whatever. And they feel they don't have those skills, nor the support for them to be able to do that. So we definitely need to look at encouraging entrepreneurship so that we can keep those skills back at home. And obviously, I think the economic environment, we're all on tenterhooks today to see what's going to happen with the ratings decision. So people are well aware that I think more and more now we're at the point where we're saying, how does that affect me as a person? Before it used to be somebody else's problem, it used to be government's problem. But now it is, if we are downgraded today, how would that affect me as a person? And our students are showing that they are now well aware of what's happening around them and that they need to make decisions based on the environment around them.
All of this speaks to the idea that students, and certainly the ones that you've interviewed, want to actually close the proximity gap, or the gap between them and the policymakers at government when it comes to job creation and when it comes to conducive environments. It appears that government is willing to actually close that gap, but the students don't seem to be entirely convinced, are they?
Not. One of the questions as well that we had in the survey was their confidence in exactly that. And majority of them came and said they don't have much confidence, which actually is quite a shame, because we need them, and we need them to believe in the system. We need them to believe that there are policies in place that are meant to support them, but they're not feeling that.
Right, so hopefully we can rely on their ideas that they might return and include some of their ideas and contributions to the economy. But thank you very much indeed for joining us. Mochabi Nomfete, the Technical Marketing Specialist at PPS. Thanks indeed for coming in.
Thanks, David.